Hi, this is Bethany, founder of the Albany Peace Project, and today I'm here with Mary Sise, who's recognized as an authority in energy psychology. Mary, could you tell people what that means?
Basically, what energy psychology is it's a form or a branch of psychology or psychotherapy where we use the energy systems of the body for psychological problems. So we know, like in Eastern medicine, for years, like 5,000 years at least, they've mapped the Chinese meridian system. It's the same system that an acupuncturist would use in Chinese medicine. So, and they've mapped that different emotions go with different meridians. Or you might work with chakras, the power centers of the body. So in energy psychology, we use emotions if the client is working with shame or anger, and we use the energy systems of the body in order to release that emotion that's in the energy, the field of the body. See, everybody thinks they're solid, but if you looked at yourself under an electron microscope, you would realize you're not solid at all. Your energy vibrating, it's contracted energy, similar to water. If you contract the energy, it looks solid like an ice cube. Or if we speed it up, and then eventually it'll go into vapor. And that's who we are. It's just we, with this separation, this matter thing that we have going down here on the planet, we think we're just separate. When people talk of oneness, or how can my prayer, for example, research on prayer, how can my prayer or my meditation impact somebody else? It's because at this level, one level, we're all one. And so my positive energy, my positive meditation, my positive heart expression will impact the energy of other people. The other tricky thing, though, that sometimes people don't realize is everybody's has free will down on planet Earth. So they have the option to let your peaceful energy in or resist it. So that's the free will ticket down here, which kind of I think is a design flaw, frankly. But I don't know who came up with that idea, was it? Although I probably was on that committee, but I thought it was a good idea. But like, it's really like we could create a real mess down here, and we have at times.
We have,
so,
and well, that's why I often say we get better results if you pray for a plant than pray for your spouse.
Exactly, because well, for two reasons. One, because usually when we're praying for him, we're really praying to control him, which is a lower frequency called fear, and so that really doesn't, and he definitely can,
reject, veto,
exactly, get her energy out of here,
Absolutely.
We do that to each other all the time. We give energy away, we leak our energy, we don't recognize how powerful we really are with our energy.
Talk more about that.
Well, like you can be in a meeting, and everybody's had this experience, like where you're in a meeting and it's kind of going well, and then somebody comes into the meeting and they're just miserable. And right away, their energy, especially if they have voltage, some people have a lot of voltage, and their energy can clear the room. Right? And we pick up vibes. You pick up people's vibes. It's becoming less, hopefully, weird and freaky. As more and more people are at least being honest and talking about it, but the truth is we pick up energy all the time, and we give our energy away. One of the places that people don't realize, they usually give energy away to their first boyfriend.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I have theory on that, but go ahead.
Theory. Let's hear it. I'll tell you what I know. So what happens the first time you're in love? Your first boyfriend, there's just like nothing like it, right? Right, ladies out there, and men, you might not know this, but I have a feeling you do. And so what happens is you actually you leave yourself there, and then you're not always available for the next one, or especially if it doesn't go too well. And you kind of like leave parts of you sometimes strewn all over the place. And so that's the thing with energy. If you, with your free will, maybe you were unaware, you left yourself there, before you get into another one, you better call yourself back, so that you're fully present and your heart is fully available for a new relationship.
My theory is the fact that at that point in life, there's less stuff put onto a relationship, so it's more pure love. It's more innocent. It's more, when you get older, it's like, oh, you're going to marry him, you're going to this, you're going to that.
There's pressure.
But, so that was my theory, and
that's not a bad one.
Seems to be a significant, energy exchange at that
Well,
point.
frankly, the more you've given of yourself away, there's less of you have in this new relationship, which makes it more difficult.
Yes.
Because they feel like you're not really there or
Right,
whatever.
right.
And truthfully, part of it is over here. So
Yeah.
ladies, grab yourself back from
Right.
these first relationships.
Right.
And
oh yeah, I'm a big one for time.
take the
pulling
energy
your
and come
spirit
back.
back.
Is the same as the shamanic
exactly.
teachings of bringing your spirit, calling your spirit back.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Yeah.
you're more present to download in your own life.
Exactly.
So,
and you hold more voltage. That's what voltage is. People who hold voltage,
right.
okay, they have their parts available. They have more of them here so that they can then put out more
right.
in terms of the purity and the light. We'll speak of light, okay? So this light, the more you're not in your past, stuck
right.
somewhere, usually you're not in a good spot either, the more you're here, the more light you can put out, and so the more impact you can have with
right.
your meditation.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
this is great stuff. Really good, great stuff. So Mary, I understand you're doing weekend intensive that works on this level, right?
Yes, we just did this, and as many people in the Albany area know, I work very closely with Her Holiness Saima. And we've been studying, and Ma has created this amazing program and has taught us about this whole concept of how we give ourselves away.
Right.
And so the premise of the program we're doing here in Albany now, it's called Realign with the Divine, is the name we've chosen for it here. And what it is the theory is that as a child, because you don't have discernment, your brain, especially up to the age of 7, and you can't really say no. You're really like a sponge for all the energy in the environment.
Right.
So you take on the energies of your parents and your siblings and everyone else, and you give away aspects of yourself, mostly to be loved, and mostly because we don't know, and children have to do it. I mean, it's like kind of like you have to go where they take you in the car.
Right.
You're kind of like, it's just like the way it goes. So what this program is very intense. You have to be in silence. You can't go home. You stay at a hotel.
Yeah.
And you're stuck with you. It's you with you, and all your stuff comes out because the energy in the room is so powerful. And so what we do is we give back to our parents what we took.
Right.
And then we take back our innocence, our childhood, and it's amazing what begins to happen. And the changes, and then people realize, like for example, say my mother rejected me,
right.
okay? And she had rejection energy because her mother rejected her, because her grandmother, blah, blah,
right,
blah.
Right.
So I took on this rejection energy. Then and so from that point on, anytime somebody would reject me in my relationships, I would be triggered and have this big reaction, and nobody loves me, and da-da-da-da-da. In fact, I can't even make relationships work because by law of resonance, I only bring people with rejection energy to me. So we're rejecting back and forth. It's a whole big drama. And when you realize that's not who I am.
Right.
And you give that energy back to your mother where it belongs. And it won't hurt your mother when you do that, by the way. It's really her energy. And what happens is, then as the program is realigned with the divine, you realign with your soul, with your higher self, with your spirit, the truth of who you are. So that then you leave the program in alignment in a totally new way, and more capable now of manifesting your soul's destiny. So you're not doing your parents' thing.
Right.
You know how many people they're actually doing their father's life or something, or their mother's life?
Yes.
That's gone. You're back. And then this is the alignment.
Right.
You with your I am presence, with your higher self, with your soul, whatever you want to call it, and your divinity, and then you now can manifest as soul what your soul's legacy was. When you incarnated, you came in with I want to go, and I want to, be at this amazing time. This is an amazing time on the planet. Yeah. We could talk about that for hours. But it's an amazing time on the planet. And the soul really wanted to come. Yeah. But the problem is, then you got kind of like covered with all the energies in your home as a little kid. Right. And so once you give them back and you take you back, whew, now you can do your soul work. Right. And your soul's legacy. That's what it is.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah, it's really.
So even just thinking about that from our broad brushstrokes, so we come in with our own agenda on what we want to create, and then unfortunately we're being raised in this home, and and there's such an influence, because we're not in touch with our own power. We have to kind of go with the program until we can get to.
You're like a sponge.
Power.
You're just a sponge. You have no control over what comes in.
Right, and so
or the babysitter's house they took you to, or the crazy aunt they left you. You know, like people would think just children, oh, it's no big deal.
Right.
But
right.
like it's every big deal.
Yes.
Like the Jesuits would say, give me a boy till the age of 7, I'll show you the man. That's what that is.
Yes.
That's what that is. Yeah.
It's very powerful.
Yeah.
So these workshops really help people reconnect to their essence, their
Reclaim
own
it.
essence.
You reclaim it. You reclaim it. It's
Beautiful.
bigger than just reconnecting.
Right.
See,
right.
we're always connected to the source. Always
Yes.
connected to God. You can't be disconnected. That's
Right.
impossible.
Right.
You're just not always aligned.
Right.
And
right.
so this is about the alignment and coming back into this alignment because it's you.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Wow,
so it's
that
fun.
sounds really
Yeah,
great.
it's amazing.
So if you want to learn more about this wonderful
Yeah.
program, just look at Mary's bio that should be under this video right now, and she's going to be leading us in a meditation that's going to use some of these concepts. Mary, did you want to say anything about the meditation in particular, or no?
No, what I'm going to do is lead you to imagine this alignment, this connection, this alignment, and then bring it, of course, into the heart,
Nice.
and then come from the heart, and then we'll spread it out, and we'll serve Albany and then the globe.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Great.
All right. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.